This is the next announcement by Echo Base Radio Blastland. Listen now to Chapter 15 of Blastland. This chapter is called The Betrayer. This chapter is made available both in text format in Russian and English languages, and as English and Russian audio podcast in the official Telegram group of Blastland. The reading in Russian language is performed by the author in its original version. Watch out for Blastland Collection NFTs at Getchum's Tongue Keeper.
Ava was finishing her evening inventory while I lay obediently nearby, occasionally whimpering softly to get her attention. She would come over, scratch behind my ear, and reassure me that she needed just a little more time before we could go play ball. Even though I was already a grown dog, I still loved playing ball. Ava's attention was focused on the blast cooler, where dangerous samples were stored. She was anxiously flipping through the journal entries of the blast paper journal, but couldn't find the entry she was looking for. According to the blast paper journal, she was the last one to handle the samples, but the most dangerous blast sample was missing from the blast cooler. In its place was a test tube with another sample that posed no threat and was not dangerous. Ava contacted her father, Commander Primus, and asked him to come to the lab immediately. Commander Primus knew that Ava wouldn't call him for trivial matters and arrived immediately. Ava told him what had happened. This was the first emergency of such a scale. Commander Primus didn't raise the alarm, but took several necessary actions. He locked the entrance door to Vault 33 and began reviewing surveillance camera footage to identify everyone who had visited the lab. I watched their actions, thinking about how I could be useful. When footage of one of the lab assistants appeared on the monitor, I barked. Ava understood that this was the person they needed and started examining the monitor even more closely. The problem was that this lab assistant didn't have access to the blast cooler and couldn't have known the code. This led them to suspect that there was a betrayer, an enemy within Vault 33. The simplest solution was to find this lab assistant and question him about everything. Ava's father, Commander Primus, called in security, led by Chief Security Officer Adam 1, and ordered them to find and bring the lab assistant for immediate questioning. The search for the lab assistant yielded a grim result. He was found dead in his section, 1377, and the dangerous sample was gone. The murder of the lab assistant and the disappearance of the blast sample indicated that the betrayer was skillfully covering his tracks and eliminating unnecessary witnesses. Ava's father convened an emergency meeting of a small group of people who knew the secret codes. When the meeting participants arrived and took their seats, it became clear that one chair was empty. It was the chair of Director Thorne. An announcement was made over the intercom for him to come immediately, but he did not appear. Surveillance footage showed that Director Thorne had left Vault 33 at the time the group returned from field work. The only conclusion was that Director Thorne was the betrayer. We didn't know where Director Thorne was heading or why he needed the hazardous blast sample, and it was our task to find out. Time was of the essence. The more time we lost, the more advantage Director Thorne was granted. Everyone understood that and tried to mobilize as quickly as possible. My ex-lab mentor Jack led the search group. Lilu's mentor also joined the operation. Looking into Ava's eyes, I could see that she couldn't remain inactive and would join the expedition. Ava's father was not amused with this decision, but did not oppose it.
This chapter was made available by Echo Base Radio Blastland. Watch out for next chapters in Blastland official Telegram channel. Visit our Blastland NFT collection at Tongue Keeper. Getchums, and stay safe.